to say that I've got a false name because I identify myself as something. So if a black man comes in, he says his name.
No, don't play the race card. It's not about the colour of your skin. You are a chicken. You played the race card because you were losing an argument. So rather than deal with the argument, you played the race card. Well, brothers, there's no need to get touchy.
The Bible was used to enslave black slaves.
Oh, he's changing the subject.
But that's a whole other debate.
Muhammad had black slaves. Well done.
Yeah, cool, no problem.
When the Quran quotes about an Injil, it's talking about a book that was given to Jesus. And that book has zero evidence of its existence. You should go and look at these references. Sahih al-Bukhari, 7263, Sahih al-Bukhari, 6161, Sunnah ibn Sa'id. It is impossible that God will contradict himself. So you have these prophets from Isaac going forward, and they teach about this covenant that God has with Israel. An eternal covenant, an everlasting covenant. Yeah? Okay? Why would we get, and it's based around temple worship and the idea of a sacrificial lamb. Yeah? And the idea that someone is coming, a divine figure is coming, who's going to establish a new covenant. And that's what all the Old Testament prophets point to. So then Christ declares himself to be that person. He says, I am that Messiah, I am that person you've been waiting for. And now I establish a new covenant, a covenant to the world, not just to Israel. Now, why would God suddenly contradict himself and give centuries and centuries of revelations pointing towards Jesus, but then 600 years later say, oh no guys, you got it wrong. Jesus isn't the divine figure I was talking about, he's just a prophet, and he isn't a prophet to the world, he's just a prophet to Israel, and actually it's Muhammad. Why would he do that? It doesn't make sense. God isn't a God of contradiction, he isn't a God of what? It does, but in Islam though, doesn't it?
It doesn't.
Are you sure?
People contradict themselves, but not God.
So explain to me, why do all the Old Testament prophets point towards this coming divine figure, this Messiah? Yeah? Right? And
about the books of Abraham.
Yeah, the Old Testament.
Right, I'm going to ask you a question about the Bible.
Yeah.
You know the Bible. Have you read the original Bible?
No, I read a translation.
If you don't search for the original one, that's still available. You see that in the Bible, it says that the last prophet named Muhammad will come.
Show me.
And that's
show me.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay, show me. Yeah. I'll get out my Bible. So you're going to show me.
In the Bible, it was written that the last prophet will come and his name is Muhammad.
It doesn't actually say that at all, no. It doesn't. And we're going to prove it right now.
Not in that one.
Show me. Oh, right. So, right. No, it doesn't say it, bro. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And what your evidence is what? An Islamic argument, an Islamic YouTube video, or an Islamic pamphlet? It's not scholarship. I guarantee, brother.
If you go and read in Armenian,
no, brother. Firstly, the original is in Hebrew in terms of the Old Testament, and it's in Greek in terms of the New Testament, and neither of them use Muhammad's name.
Go and search for it.
It doesn't.
I'll
We've already. The Jews themselves who read the Old Testament in Hebrew do not testify what you say.
No, I don't know the name of the language. Yeah?
Hebrew.
It's not Hebrew. It's another language.
You're talking about Aramaic.
Arabic.
The language that Christ spoke. Yeah. So where is your evidence that there is this original Injil? Where is your evidence that there was a thing called an Injil?
It's the Bible.
No. Where is your evidence that a book?
History.
Yeah. I'm a student of history. I'm telling you, there's no evidence of an Islamic book called an Injil.
You're saying that.
I am saying that as a fact.
That's your opinion. I respect.
Right. So which ancient scholar? Right, which ancient source?
I don't listen to ancient.
Oh, you don't listen. So you're not making an historical argument then?
Sorry?
You're not making an historical argument.
I'm telling you what I believe.
Right. You can tell me what you believe, but if your beliefs contradict all the facts, then your beliefs are false.
That's fine.
And your beliefs contradict all the facts.
That's fine, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. I'll give you some facts. Fact. Clement was writing in 90 AD. Clement references the New Testament I hold in my hand. Fact, Ignatius was writing in 120 AD. Ignatius quotes the New Testament I'm holding in my hand. Fact, Tertullian was writing in the 200s. He quotes the New Testament I'm holding in my hand. In fact, every single church father quotes the New Testament, and they don't just quote the New Testament, they also quote the rival writings of other groups. But they never quote anything that you could call an Injil, ever. History is silent about this thing called an Injil. There is no knowledge of its existence. There is no documentary evidence to prove that it ever exists. No one ever references it. No one ever talks about it.
So there's no Bible.
There was no Injil.
Injil is the Bible.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Okay.
What the Injil? The Injil is a fiction of Muhammad, an invention you find in the Quran that does not exist.
But he got told about it by someone else. It wasn't him that told him about the Injil.
So the Injil, where is your evidence that it existed?
No, but I'm saying someone else told him though, so he didn't get it from his own self. So remember when he went to the...
Sorry, who's he? Sorry, I'm confused.
Waraqah, the cousin of Khadija, he's the one who told him about these books.
So the Quran doesn't mention an Injil?
Of course it mentions the Injil, but what I'm saying...
So where is it?
What I'm trying to say to you is understand something. If you want to play on semantics, there's something called semantics.
I'm not playing on semantics.
No, what I'm trying to say to you is a word, if we say Isa, we're really saying Jesus. We're not talking about all
Shall we do 3 minutes?
Listen to me. If someone says something in another language and you don't understand it because you're weak in that language, doesn't mean that that thing doesn't exist. It just means that the language is a language barrier between you and that thing. That's all it means. Just like if someone in Arabic came and said a word, but you said, no, I think it means this, and this is what it means in English. Doesn't mean that the word doesn't exist. It just means that the word...
Can I reply? No. And this is always the same. Like Muslims come, they give their little pep talk, and then they walk away.
No. The reason being...
No. Let me reply now. Let me reply now. Let me reply. So the thing is, the Quran talks about a thing called an Injil. Everyone knows it. I'm not making that up.
One second.
Right? Well, no. 1 second. Let me just reply to his point. Right? This book called an Injil that supposedly Isa had. History has no evidence of its existence. The first time that such a book is mentioned is in the Quran in the 7th century. Show me any extant evidence from the 1st century to the 7th century that quotes this book. Where is your evidence?
All the Christian and Arab
So what I'm trying to say to you is, again, there's a language barrier. And I feel like because there's a language barrier...
What do you think the Injil is?
No, I'm saying to you, because there's a...
One second, please, 1 second.
What?
All the Arab Christian, how do they call the Bible? They call it Injil. Exactly.
What do you think the Injil is? So you believe the Injil is these 27 books I've got here?
No, this is...
So it's not. Right then, so we're not talking about the same thing, are we? You're the one playing semantics, not me.
So listen, if you want to listen to me, I can explain to you. If you don't have to listen. So what I'm saying to you, right? What's your name? Bob,
You can call me Bob.
Bob. That's your real name, is it?
No, of course not.
So what I'm saying to you
What's
now
your
is
name?
Adnan. That's my real name.
Is that your real name?
That's my real name.
Your birth name?
Yeah.
The one it says on the certificate?
It's the one that Allah gave me.
So it's not the one it says on your certificate, so you're using a false name?
It doesn't matter.
Arabization.
We don't like
No, I've got no problem using a false name. I just want to point out that Muslims have this issue, but they use false names all the time in the park.
It doesn't matter.
So you're
is it what you done? You just tried to do. You tried to insult me and then
I
tried
didn't
to continue
insult
the debate. So now this is what I'm going to get with you.
No,
No, this is what I'm trying. This you did.
No.
You said use false names. That's my name. How you call someone's name? No, how can you call someone's name? They're not real name. If someone calls themselves something, that's what they recognize themselves as. It doesn't come for you to come now and try to take someone's identity. And this is what the white man always tries to do with the black man.
Don't play the race card.
No.
Don't play the race card.
No, you just done that.
No, you played the race card. I never brought race into this.
No, you know why?
You're playing the race card.
No.
You're going, this is what the white man does to the black man.
Yeah, he said
Don't play the race card. That's a cop out. That's the chicken's way out of an argument. When you're losing, I play the race card. No,
but listen to me.
Don't play the race
Listen
card.
to me. You
No, don't bring race card.
You're not going to
Don't
outshout
play
me,
the race
and you're not
card.
going to outdo me. I'm
So,
telling you from now.
let's talk about race
No,
card.
because go back to what you said. You tried to disrespect me.
No. You're taking offense. No, I don't owe you an apology.
If you don't apologize, I'm not debating this.
Fine, fair enough. We'll go back to you then. So
you don't go back to me like that.
So in the Injil,
you gotta respect my brother.
You gotta.
Hold on. If you don't respect my brother, if you don't respect me,
you need to show respect.
You need to show respect. I've got a false name because I identify myself as something. So if a black man comes in, he says his name.
No, don't play the race card. It's not about the colour of your skin.
Listen to me.
It's not about. No.
Can I speak?
Argue based upon the facts.
No,
No, you're interrupting me.
No. You tried to do something dirty.
No.
I clocked it.
No, you want to clock it.
Don't you ever do that again. Don't ever do that again.
You want to be offended because you got a chip on your shoulder. You got a chip on your shoulder.
Don't try to do that white man.
You got a chip on your shoulder about colour. No one's interested in the race card.
What you said.
No one is interested in the race card.
You said the Muslims.
And we are talking about the Injil and the New Testament, and you tried to play the race card because you know you can't stand up to an intellectual debate.
But I've just given you what the terminology is. But what I'm saying to you is don't try and debate with someone and disrespect them.
Right, let's go back. Let's go back to the
out the
debate.
window. I'll just go out the window. I will not listen about the debate anymore.
Yeah.
You disrespected me
I don't think you were listening about the debate to begin with.
No, because you disrespected me.
Because
if you
you
having a
played
debate with someone,
semantics
no.
with the terms.
Don't disrespect someone. I'm telling you this.
Well, why are you disrespecting me?
How did I disrespect you?
You tried to imply that I was a racist.
No, I said you not.
You came here and you went, this is what the white man does to the black man.
Yeah,
we weren't even talking about colour. We weren't even talking about colour.
Try to tell me my name's not my name.
So
the name. What's my name?
Is that the name on your birth certificate?
I'm saying, what's my name?
I'm happy to call you Adnan.
They don't say to me that.
Anyway, look, I'm happy to call you Adnan.
Don't ever say it's false. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
So
my name is my name.
You said that it was the name that Allah gave you. I'm pretty sure it's not. Anyway, so let's go back to the discussion.
So basically, what you're trying to say is that the Injil is not true.
You just said it.
No.
You said it. No, that's what you said.
No.
Is the Injil the 27 books I hold in my hand?
But this is not even the truth. It's not the truth.
So it isn't.
That's not the truth.
So we are talking about two different books.
No, you're not.
So now,
whose Bible?
Thank you. You've helped me make my argument.
No, there's no argument that you've made.
You're just not following. You're not quick enough. So the point is,
there's no argument.
You've just said
Injil is mentioned in the Quran.
Yes,
that which makes
correct.
it, and
Which is the only time.
Stop.
So where's your evidence it existed? Go on, answer the question.
When the Muslims went to Abyssinia, you don't know your history because you don't check the black history.
Don't play the race card. Don't play the race card.
Talk about black slavery. Talk about black slavery.
No. We don't.
You want to overpower me?
Yeah. I know you're a chicken and you're playing this race card.
Can I speak?
Because you're
You don't want the black man to speak.
No. This ain't about you being black, brother. Do you think that white man is
speak.
imposing himself on a black man right now, or is the black man just cowering from an argument playing the race card?
Can I speak? Can I speak?
He's playing. Your black brother is correcting you. Your black brother is correcting you.
I don't give a damn. What I'm saying, can I speak?
Yeah? So, you're all about black identity when it suits you, but then when a black brother corrects you about your misuse of black politics, you don't give a damn. That's interesting. And that's how Muslims Salafis have politicized. That's how Muslim Salafis have politicized black identity to try and push Islam. He wants to talk about respect. I'll talk to you. So you've said I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you right now. Yeah, let's get back to this. So this isn't the Injil. I'm not running. This isn't the Injil. This isn't the Injil.
Let's start.
No. Shall we do 3 minutes? 3 minutes.
Listen,
I'm giving you an opportunity to have 3 minutes.
You tried to overpower
Do you want to have 3 minutes? 3 minutes.
It's not working like that.
That's a respectful way to do a dialogue.
It's not working.
Do you want to do that?
It's not working like that. I'm going to give you my point and that's it.
So you're all right. So what you're saying is, I'm trying to overpower you. But what you're going to do is you're going to give your point and then you're done. No, brother. It doesn't work like that here at Speaker's
I'm not your
Corner.
brother, no?
I know in humanity, of course you are. No, I said no, brother. You are my brother. I believe you're my brother. In Adam, yes.
Am I your brother?
Do you not believe that?
Are you my brother?
Yeah, I believe you're my brother. In Adam, yes.
Believe that now?
Yes. See, I give you more dignity.
You don't give me no dignity.
Than you give to me.
You tried to disrespect me.
No, you didn't, mate. You just like a chicken played the race card.
Who's a chicken? See, why are you calling me a chicken for?
Because you played the race
See
card.
what I'm saying? You see the bad disrespect?
You are a chicken.
No,
you
I'm not
played
chicken.
the race card because you were losing an argument.
listen to me.
So rather than deal with the argument,
listen,
you played the race card.
Listen,
Brothers, there's no need to get touchy.
Listen.
Is that what you did?
Listen, look at me in my eyes. Look at me in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
I'm not a chicken.
You are a chicken.
No, I'm not a chicken.
You played the race card because you lost an argument.
Look me in my eyes.
And now you're getting aggressive. I am looking you in the eyes. I don't know which eye you want me to look
into. There's no chicken there. There's no chicken.
Right, so answer the question then.
So if you want to talk to me and have a debate, if you want to talk and have a debate, if you want to talk and have a debate,
so let's do that.
But if you think you can disrespect me, I'm gonna disrespect you back. I'm telling you.
I'm fine. I'm not worried by that. Christ promised us that people like you would come along.
and
would disrespect
and Allah's
them,
promised
and
us that people
persecute
like you will
us,
come along.
and that we should
Who's
rejoice
persecuting
when you do
Who's
it.
persecuting you?
So,
are you going that far?
So why don't you want to
Are
deal
you,
with
doing,
a topic?
are you trying to strip this? Are you trying to
Do you
flip the
want to
script?
deal with a topic, or do you just want to get into ad hominem?
No, I'm trying to talk and you're not letting me talk.
Right, so let's do 3
No,
minutes. 3
no.
minutes.
Listen.
Yeah,
listen,
I'm going to give you 3 minutes
You're
to
gonna,
make your
you're
point.
Gonna give me hell. You
Yeah,
said.
that's what I'm going to do.
You're going to give me.
I'm going to show for
Why
3
are you
minutes.
giving me anything?
Because you're
Why do I
saying
need
that I'm.
anything from you? I don't need
Because
anything.
you're
If you want me
saying
to have
that
a
I'm
debate,
talking over
if you want to have a debate,
One minute.
if you want to have a debate and we want to have a discussion, we can have that. If you want to try and disrespect me, I'm not going to have a discussion.
Look, bro, you keep whinging about being disrespectful. You're very
You called me a
disrespectful
chicken.
yourself.
You said that I got a false
You
name.
played the race card
Now
in
you
an
try to
argument
say, oh, my
that
black
had
brother.
nothing
Look,
to
your black brother's
do.
against you. That's what you tried to do.
He corrected
That's
you.
what a white man always does.
No, a
Always
black
comes in
brother
positivity.
corrected you,
Always comes
and
in
then
with that.
and then
I love
when
that.
the black brother
Show-
corrected
show-
you,
How did he correct
you
me?
chucked
How did he correct me?
you chucked black
How did he correct
identity
me?
politics in the bin.
Show me how he corrected me. Show me
It's
how he
on
corrected
camera,
me.
everybody
Show me how he
saw
corrected me.
it. So I'm going to shut
What
up
did he do
now.
to
I'm going to
correct
give him
me?
3 minutes
Because
to
the
talk.
disunity between us. You want me to have something against him and him have
I'm
something
a
against me?
Christian. I'm guessing you're a Christian. There's more unity between me and him than there is between you and him.
Wow, is that true? So if I was your son, you'd have
Oh
more
look, the
unity than me.
racist is shaking the hand of his black brother, the Christian. This guy, beautiful brother in Christ. The first Christians, the best Christians, the church fathers were from Africa.
Right.
We had popes from Africa. The Salafist Muslims politicize black politics and black identity to try and bounce black people out of the church. No, he's trying to use. He didn't care about black politics and he corrected it. He said he didn't care.
He only agreed.
He didn't care.
But now,
before.
look at it now. But look at it now. Bob is going to the black man because he wants help. You can see that, Bob, you're in trouble.
Right, so
This is
let's
the
deal
same
with
thing
that.
that you do, Bob. So
I get it.
Bob went to the black
I did
man. And
talk
are you
over
a
it.
Christian? Come forward, my brother.
I did talk
Are
over
you a Christian?
Right.
Are you a Christian?
I'm going to give him 3
so you only
minutes.
agreed with him because he's a Christian.
too much,
It was
Bob.
nothing to do with real or not. It was just because he was a Christian.
3 minutes,
So you went to someone because he's a Christian. That's what he did. There's nothing beneficial in what you just did. Only thing you just did was show the low level that you are as a human. Because low. Yeah, this is how low you are. You're a low person. And I'm gonna go in. I don't need your 3 minutes. Forget your 3 minutes. Move from you dirty camera fan.
There you go. What was that about insulting? What was that about insulting? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, because you
His
disrespected me.
dean
I'm
has
just-
failed him already. And it took less than a minute.
Okay, no, but back,
Anyway.
so back to what I said. Back to what I said to you. Yeah? Back to the regional debate. The Injil, if you do history, the black man that was in Abyssinia, they called the Bible at that time the Injil. When the Muslims went over to Abyssinia, and they was under the care of who? Who was they under the care of? Najashi. Now Najashi, he called the Bible the Injil because the Muslims, when the Quraysh came over and they said to him, recite your book, the Injil, he says, what does it say in your Injil? He was talking about the Injil. So that means at that time that they had that kind of relationship. When the Najashi, who was a Christian, he called the Bible the Injil. So what can you say now with that? You can't. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. There's historic facts that the Injil was called the Injil because people communicated through languages, languages that you're not really aware of. That's why you're making this assumption that the Injil only came in the Quran. No, they had the Injil before. And even the people that came over in the year of the elephant. Do you know about the year of the elephant? When the man Abraha got sent by Najashi? So when in that year they got sent by Najashi, the other king that was over there, because there was a tyrant that was in Yemen, and he came with the Injil to teach the people the Injil. That's what they was upon. That's the religion that they was upon. That's the book that they had at that time. So you can't tell me that the Injil never existed before. It's only because you don't know black history, because you don't care about black people. But it's all right, Bob. Have a nice day.
You done?
I'm done with you. You're
Okay.
finished.
So now allow me to reply. Now allow me to
Answer my
reply.
question. Don't try and jump.
Yeah.
Go back to the
Notice is interrupting. Notice is interrupting.
Let's give him a chance. Give him a
You
chance.
talked for 2 minutes. I didn't interrupt you. I'm going to speak for 2 minutes.
I don't care about
Kindly
your
show
2
me
minutes.
the
If I
courtesy.
want to interrupt, I interrupt.
There you go. His dean has failed him. He
Alhamdulillah.
talks about
Alhamdulillah.
people
Alhamdulillah.
behaving low, but you
Alhamdulillah.
see the
I like
Salafist
him, bro.
supremacist
When you're racist,
ideology.
it's all right though.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I know you keep playing the race card, but unfortunately, you're not fooling anyone except yourself.
We all see it.
So,
all the people
so
feel it.
he
The people
talked
feel
about
it.
the
You
Injil.
can't belittle me.
He talked about the Injil, and he said that other people referenced the Injil, like Muhammad and the Ethiopians. But what he doesn't realise is that the Ethiopians in the 7th century were Christians. So when they talked about an Injil, they would have been talking about the 27.
No. They would have given it a different name. They would have given it a different name. That's the same thing. So you
notice he interrupts.
the whole debate
It's where his problem gets worse. Because the Quran says that it is perfect Arabic. So why is it using Greek Coptic terms? Why is it borrowing non-Arabic terms to refer to the good news when there are perfectly sufficient Arabic words? No. The fact of the matter is that from the 1st century
Are you going to admit that
to the 7th century, I can reference historians and historical sources who quote the New Testament that I use from the 1st to the 7th century. Clement, Ignatius, Tertullian, Cyprian, throw out some of the church fathers' names, Origen, Augustine. It goes on and on and on.
2 minutes? Is it 2 minutes?
You didn't care about 2 minutes 2 minutes ago.
See?
No. Hold on.
I'm in front of the camera. I'm in front of the camera.
That's fine. Let him. He wants He's just showing Salafism to the world. Let him, JC. JC, let him.
So basically, so you see how
hold on.
you flopped.
I ask him a question now.
You know you flopped.
I ask you a question now. Here's my question.
You know you flopped.
Do you have any evidence at all? Any evidence of an Injil described by the Quran existing from the 1st to the 7th century? Where's your evidence?
Okay, can I speak now?
Are you asking my permission? Thought you didn't need the white guy's permission.
Bob is here today. I think he'll debate with me today.
He's
not going to run
No,
away
not
from me.
at all.
Wow,
I'm just showing your inconsistency of
If someone
rhetoric.
takes our speaker's call,
There you go, 2 minutes.
Bob, I'm going to be finished. So look, so Bob, this is what you just done, yeah? One thing you never done, yeah, at the start, yeah?
Wait, you're not answering my question.
Listen, I'm talking.
No, you interrupted me the whole time. I gave you 2 minutes without interruption. No, you can talk, but I'm going to talk when I want to talk. Remember,
I want a proper debate.
remember when I gave
Not asking questions.
2 minutes without interruption. Right, so the question I asked you...
No, it's not.
No. This is the question I asked you. The question I asked
You ran
you
from what I said.
is where... No, I addressed that point. You just weren't listening because you were too quiet and listened to what I had to say. You would have heard that I did address that point.
What point did you address?
What I addressed...
Tell me the point.
No. I am going to ask you a question.
What point did you address?
Let me remind you.
What point did you
This
address?
is the point that I addressed.
I said to you.
This is the point that I addressed. You quoted the testimony of the Ethiopian church. That Ethiopian church, whichever term they used, would have referred to the New Testament of my 27 books.
Okay, but what I'm saying to you,
So now what I'm asking you, no. What I'm asking
you
you,
said there was no mention before
where?
the Quran. So
Where?
You lied.
No. What I'm saying
Did
to
you
you,
say that to me?
no, because the Injil
Did you say that?
is the Injil. Yes, that's what I said.
Yes,
Where the Injil that is in the Quran, you said is not the New Testament. So that is the book that I'm talking about. That is the document that I'm talking about. This document referenced in the Quran called the Injil that Allah gave to Jesus. Where is the evidence that it existed? Because I have evidence. I have 700 years of evidence that testifies to the New Testament.
Show me the 700 years.
Yes,
Show me.
I can.
I can. Show me.
The writings of the church fathers. The papyri. No. Codexes.
Show me your proof.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Where did you get it from?
I'm going
Where did you get it from?
to. You can go. I'm going to.
Show me.
I'm going to. Show then.
Yeah, 700 years.
Yeah, I'm going
Show me
to.
700 years.
Listen.
Don't deal with me. Run away.
Done that.
You can't argue. You've got a lot of attitude. You're doing the Muhammad Hijabi style of argument. Come there with a lot of attitude but not many facts. Right. Go after the point. If you be quiet a minute, I will.
Reference it from
I'm
700 years.
going to.
Attack it. You know what?
Going to.
Just attack.
No.
You are laughing. You know. You come in the city.
Library today.
You are sick. You are
You can see Codex Vaticanus.
money now. You can
right
now.
Paid up cyanide.
They want money.
Right or wrong?
500 pounds run away. 500 pounds.
The writings
Why do you have
of
to pay him?
Clement.
He can't touch the Why do you have to pay him? Because he's a wimp.
You can read the
can't
writings of
10
Ignatius.
minutes
No,
each.
leave him. I want to see
You can read the writings of Irenaeus. You can read the writings of Cyprian, of Origen, of Tertullian, of Augustine. You can read the writings of John Chrysostom. You can read the writings of all of these church fathers, and they all quote the 27 books of the New Testament that I am citing. Now, by contrast, the Quran refers to a book, a document called the Injil. And I asked the brother to show me any evidence of its existence. So now I'm going to give you another chance. I was quoting it, you were too busy talking.
You didn't quote 700 years.
Well, maybe not exactly 700.
You lied!
You're a liar! I got 500 years. That's not bad. That's not bad. I got 500 years. That's not bad. So you're a liar. Well, technically, I was wrong. I couldn't quote 700. So now show me a scrap of evidence of the Injil. Where's your evidence?
You are telling him lies.
Are you going to shout this whole time?
It depends. Do you interrupt me?
I'm saying to you
No. You want me to shout when you're talking. I have to let you speak, but you interrupt me. Not interested in your race car, bro. So, answer the question. Do you have a scrap of evidence? No, brother, it ain't about you being black, it's about you.
You're trying to overpower.
No, bro. It's got nothing to do with the colour of your skin. You're a Salafist, you're a supremacist.
It's the real. It's the real. You see what you're doing right now? You're not letting
You called Christians dirty cameraman. A Christian's copper.
Can I speak?
A Christian's copper.
Can I speak?
Yeah, you're not answering my question.
Can I speak?
Yeah, about the Indian. Would you like 2 minutes again?
No, I don't. You just done about 5 minutes. You give me 2 minutes. Bro. So basically, what you said. I'll go back to it now. Yeah. Now, if they said the Ethiopians, yeah.
I can't hear you over there. Let's move over here.
Let's see who's the
I
liar.
can't hear you.
Let's see who's the liar.
Have you got my 500 quid?
I gave you nothing. I gave it to you right away. I took it for what?
Wait, he said he gave me 500 quid. Where's my 500 pounds?
Don't lie,
Where's my 500? Where's my 500? Anyway, I'm actually interested in your
Nice combo.
This is the reason why I've never wanted to debate with someone like you. There's 2 reasons why I never
glad
debated
you
with
never
someone
did.
like you. You know why? Because one, you tried to overpower me, and I've seen the way you talk to certain black men. It's very belittling. As a
Oh,
person.
don't play this race
Can I
car
speak?
rubbish,
Can I
man.
speak?
They're trying to portray me
Can I
as a
speak?
racist.
No, what I'm trying to say. No, what I'm trying to say is when you're speaking to a black person, me and this brother right here can have a nice conversation. Yeah? Muslim or no Muslim, I should have a debate. He doesn't stop. He doesn't need to shout and overpower me.
Don't say stop. You interrupted me when I was talking.
I'm saying it's a fact. I'm saying facts.
So what you're saying is you can interrupt me, but I can't interrupt you. Is that not a double standard,
I gave you 2
Salafi?
minutes. I gave you 2.
Is that not a double standard?
Don't try and see.
Is it because I'm a dhimmi?
Name calling.
Is it because I'm a dhimmi?
Name calling.
Well, like when you called him a dirty cameraman. And you called me a low man. Like that. Yeah, name calling.
Yeah.
So double standard
Yeah,
again.
what I'm saying to you, yeah.
Does your religion not teach you about double standards?
What does your religion teach you about?
Yeah,
double
it does.
standards? So why are you doing it then?
Brother, what I'm challenging.
No, what are you challenging? What?
No, I'm treating you
You
as you
ain't
treat me, bro.
You don't treat me like you're treating me.
Yeah, right. So I gave you 2 minutes.
No. You never
without
give me nothing.
interruption.
You never give me nothing. And the reason why you don't want to
You
give me
took
nothing, the reason why you don't want me to speak is because you don't want the truth to come out. Well, I'm going to give
you 2 minutes
I'm
silence. I'll do
gonna,
it again.
No, I don't mind. Give me 20 minutes. I'm going to give you the Quran right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the Quran.
I give him 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes.
2 minutes. Let's say.
2 minutes.
You know what? I feel like if I go into
batteries.
it's not gonna have any effect. So you know what? I'm gonna go to the Quran because this is something that I know that you don't like. A lot of you Christians, when you hear the Quran, you get upset. But I'm gonna give it to you because I feel like you need it. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm giving him 2 minutes without interruption because he's complaining. And I'm interrupting him. But he interrupts me all the time. Anyway, carry on.
I don't even know you like that all the time, bro.
Christian manners.
You know what I'm saying?
starts from now, or okay, he's looking after. Okay, he's looking after the. Okay, good. He's looking up.
Get them. Get them.
No, don't.
Get them.
No camels.
You liar, you donkey.
Uncle Jamal, no camels.
You liar.
Uncle Jamal, we love you, Uncle Jamal.
You liar, ya
You want to
Ahmad.
become a Christian, Uncle Jamal.
Stubborn, ya donkey, stubborn. You
Wait, Uncle Jamal, wait.
liar. Allah. La ilaha illallah.
Who's the bigot?
Who's the biggest? Father. Father, you. Okay. Father, you, ya donkey.
Brother, listen, you just spoke for 25 minutes, brother, and I didn't interrupt you. So
No, you what?
Listen.
You have a memory problem.
Listen. It says right here, yeah, in the Quran, it says,
Yeah.
وَإِذْ قَالَ اللَّهُ يَا عِيسَى بْنُ مَرْيَمَ وَأَنْتَ قُلْتَ لِلنَّاسِ تَأْخُذُونِي وَأُمِّيَ. So this, someone else, another Christian tried to bring this to me, and I'll just mess you up quickly. It says, remember when Allah said, yeah, O Isa, son of Mary, did you say unto men, worship me and my mother as two gods besides Allah? Yeah. He will say, glory be to you. It was not for me to say which I have no right to say. And such a thing you surely would have known. You know what is in my inner self, and I do not know what is in my inner self. You are the all-knower of the hidden and the unseen. Now, I'm going to get back to this point one last time on this, yeah? One last time. Because I had to start with the Quran to calm me down because you were shouting a lot. See, I'm not shouting, I'm calm and collective because the truth doesn't need to be shouted. It can just be calmly given to you. See how I read that? It wasn't in an angry or a harsh way, yeah? So now, listen to this. You said that the Injil was not mentioned before the word Injil. Now, understand something. When you're talking about words, yeah, they used words for certain terminologies. Now the terminology used for the Bible is Injil. The terminology used for the Bible is Injil. Now, how do we know that's a fact 100%? Because in the time when the Prophet ﷺ sent the Muslims to Abyssinia, they was Christians, and at that time they said they had the Injil. The Injil, they used the word Injil. That means that word was around before that, because a word can't just come into existence. A person couldn't come to a country and start a word. And if they understood that word to mean that, that means that that's what it actually means. So that debate now is finished. You can't come back from that.
Okay, can I reply?
It's not, you can't,
Right.
unless you bring any facts to bring me facts.
So, can I reply? I've given you just under 3 minutes without
I don't tell me you give me 3
Right,
minutes,
so,
because you expected me
right,
before.
so let me reply now. I'm going to time myself. I'll stop at the same amount of time. So thank you for quoting the Quran and demonstrating the error that is in the Quran. Because the Quran believes that when it refers to the three that Christians believe in, that it's accusing Christians of taking Mary and Jesus as gods besides Allah. That was not anything that Christians believed in the 7th century. And that was quite clear because that was made clear to all Christians by 381 at the Council of Constantinople, which means that that truth was around for hundreds of years before Muhammad got it wrong. And the reason why Muhammad got it wrong is because it wasn't God speaking to him and Allah didn't know what he was talking about. Because Christians have never worshipped Mary as a god.
Yes, they have. Catholics do.
No, please notice the interpretation.
Catholics do, you lie. Catholics do, and
the
they're Christians.
interruption.
Don't try that.
The
Don't you ever
interruption.
try that.
The
Catholics do.
interruption.
Catholics worship Mary.
You need to go and speak to more Catholics, bro, because you're ignorant of that as well. Anyway,
Catholics do believe
now
that.
notice the interruption. He
So
said,
you made a lie.
don't
You just made
interrupt
a
me.
start because you
You
lied.
don't. This is the Salafi supremacist logic. Don't you interrupt me
Name
because if you
calling.
do,
Name call the black man.
stinks.
Name call the black man.
no
again.
one's
Go on.
interested
Go
in
on.
your race
Go
card.
on.
Anyway,
Go on. Name call the
so
black
the
man.
Quran got it wrong.
Tried to belittle him with
But
words.
then,
Go on.
he said
Belittle.
that the Injil, the term, is around. So let's give him that point. Let's give it him. Okay, he's fine.
It was before then,
But
yeah?
the point is,
So that
when
means- so that
the
means that you're wrong
Quran,
then. That means you got it
when the
whole
Quran,
debate is
when the
fallacy.
Quran quotes
It's a
about an
fallacy.
Injil, it's talking about a book that was given to Jesus. And that book has zero evidence of its existence. Not a scrap.
I just said to you.
Not a line.
what-
Not a word.
but wait.
So now I will ask you a
So
question.
you flopped then.
Now I will ask you a
How can you say
question.
if you say it was
Where is your evidence of an Islamic document called an Injil between the 1st and the 7th century? I've given you the term. I accept the term was there before. Congratulations, you won a point. Take your it off. Now address my question. Where is the evidence that this document ever existed?
In the Quran.
Thank you. So your only evidence is the Quran. There is no other evidence you can use.
Alright, so before, in the time when the Muslims went to Abyssinia.
Yeah, we talked about that.
No,
we talked about
No,
that.
because you're trying to jump from this point. And
No,
this is
I
the
didn't
point.
address
So
it.
I'm saying to
I
you
gave
now-
it to you.
Yeah, so I'm saying.
I gave you that
Them
point.
Christians at that time.
I gave you that point.
Yeah, they said they called it.
When they called it the Injil, were they referring to the New Testament that they had, which matches my 27 books, or were they referring? Right. So you're saying that in the 7th century, Ethiopian Christians had possession of the Islamic document called the Injil.
Okay,
That's
so-
what you're saying.
So what I'm saying.
Because history contradicts you, bro.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
So what I'm saying to you.
Do you even know when the canon was canonized?
Listen.
Oh well, wait, now you don't want to interrupt. You were interrupting. You're lying, but you don't.
How am I
want-
lying? I'm telling
yeah,
you
you're
the
lying.
facts. I'm telling you
No,
the
you're not
facts.
telling me facts.
I'm telling you facts.
You're playing semantics.
I'm not. Can I finish?
No. You interrupted me.
No, you don't want me to speak.
No, you didn't want me to speak. Remember when you interrupted me and you said about those Catholics? Remember that? When you did that? You don't remember that. You got a short memory. mate.
No, because you tried.
You got a memory problem.
Because you made a lie. You said Christians don't.
He wants attention.
So, the Injil in Ethiopia. No, let's talk about the Injil in Ethiopia.
Yeah,
Right, that's what you're
Injil that they had was the one that
in the 7th century.
That's where the terminology, the name, has always been there.
Bro, how many Ethiopian Christians do you know?
You have got a wife?
You are a fantasy.
So with your girlfriend.
Because I know crap loads, and I'm telling you, they would disagree with
So
you.
with your girlfriend.
How many times have you gone to an Ethiopian Orthodox church?
Stop.
You need help, bro.
No, I think we should. No, because your argument is based on the idea that in the 7th century, the Ethiopian Christians had an Injil. And I'm telling you that Ethiopian Christians will contradict you.
Okay, so-
Because I've already spoke with them about
So
it.
you're saying that in that time, the Christianity
Of Ethiopia.
wasn't in jail. So I'm
The,
asking a question. They called it the Injil,
and it was referring to the 27 books.
Let me talk. So the
No,
king,
you don't. You
the
interrupt
king-
me. Why
the
have you
king-
got this double standard? I know as a Salafist you have this supremacist logic
No,
that you can
got that
do
white-
things.
You got that white man.
No,
you got that white
I, ain't
man
got, I don't care about
You got that white man
I work with a
supremacy.
Latino brother. Like I got no problems.
So what does that
I got
mean?
no
What
racial
does that mean?
superiority.
You know white people.
You just
know
got a
racist.
racial.
You know white man
chip
is not racist. You know what
You
they say?
got- you
I
got-
got about 4 black friends.
No.
Come on, man.
Bro,
Don't
you
use
just got
that
a chip
one.
on your
Don't-
shoulder.
Don't use
You
that
just
one.
got a
Don't use
chip
that
on
one.
your
That don't
shoulder.
work, man. That don't
You
work.
just got a chip on your
Because you
shoulder.
work with a Latino, you're not racist.
So no, bro. I'm saying that you
What
are
does that
trying
mean?
to play the
What does
race
that mean?
card because you've
What
got
does
a
that
chip
mean?
on your shoulder.
No.
about race.
You see what?
The issue is yours, not mine.
No, you see what you've done, yeah?
You're trying to
Many times.
impose your chip onto me as if I have a problem. I don't have no problem with race. I got no problem with you about the colour of your skin
Okay.
or anyone else.
No problem. You really want to go deep. The Bible was used to enslave black slaves. But
Oh,
anyway,
it's changing the subject.
but that's a whole other debate. You don't.
Yeah,
you don't
Muhammad
wanna-
had black slaves. Well done.
Yeah, cool. No problem. I can.
Muhammad had black
But I
slaves.
can.
And he called one of them a ship.
What colour was Muhammad?
He was white.
Was it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, the
Show me,
hadith says
show
so.
me,
The
show me.
hadith says
Show
so.
me. Someone hadith.
I don't know if I got them on.
Thank you very much. But what I'm saying to you,
No, it does.
No.
Don't speak to DCCI. They'll have them for you.
What I'm saying to you now, yeah. See how you're racism. You see how the racism you come
No,
out.
you keep
See
playing
the
this
racism,
hard.
see the
It's
racism.
desperate, mate.
No.
It's desperate.
You
Stick to the topic.
You know what you're trying to do.
The topic is the Injil.
See?
Stick to the topic.
You don't like
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stick to the topic, and you're floundering about everywhere else.
I've showed you.
You've shown me a word.
No, I showed you that the word existed before.
Yeah, I've given you that.
No, stop.
I've given
Let me
you that.
speak. So, I don't need to say you give me
No,
that.
no.
I've given it to you.
Don't
What do you say?
interrupt
What-
me when you
what-
want and then tell me let you speak. If you cannot show me courtesy, I'm asking you to show me the evidence that the Injil
can I speak?
existed
Can I
from the
speak?
1st to the 7th century. Where is it?
So what I'm saying to you now, yeah, if we're talking about languages,
Yeah.
the people that were Christians in Ethiopia knew languages. They had their own language, and they had.
You're stuck on this point, bro. Move past it. I've already given you that point.
No, I don't care. But listen, just listen.
No,
to
I've
me.
given you that point.
Listen
You're just
to me.
going back to
No,
a point because you've
listen
got
to me.
nothing to say. The Injil, the document
Brother,
that was
can you-
given
can
to
you-
Jesus.
can you-
Stop trying to play the possum, right? You interrupt me.
What's a possum?
Well, this is a turn of phrase. Stop
What's a
trying to
possum,
play
bro?
the possum. It's
See how
when
much
someone.
rude words this don't try to call me from.
The possum is not an insult.
Why?
Calling someone playing, it's a turn of phrase, it's not an insult. You're eager to take insult, I can see that because you got a chip on your shoulder.
Why? Because I'm black. I want to play the race card, isn't it?
Is it because I'm white?
Maybe.
Yeah, is it because I'm white?
Maybe.
Is that the issue?
Yeah, maybe.
Right,
But I can be truthful.
Yeah.
You can't. But what I'm saying to you now, you see, I'm being truthful, but maybe you can't.
No, I got no problem with
Stop.
people about it based on the colour of the skin. This is your issue entirely.
No, because you've been trying to overpower me through the whole debate. And
No,
you
bro.
let me speak.
You
So what, back to-
interrupt me at leisure,
Stop, let me speak.
and then you whinge when I interrupt you. You can't. I'm not your dimmy. I'm not interested in your dimmy logic, and
What's
I
a
don't
dhimmi?
care about your Salafi
What's a
supremacy.
dhimmi?
Yeah.
What's a Salafi?
A dhimmi is a second-class citizen in Islamic caliphate.
What does that mean?
One to be
What does that mean to
subjected
me? What does that
and
mean to me now?
means to be humiliated.
What does that mean? What does that mean to
Means
me?
be
What does that mean to
humiliated.
me right now?
Yeah. This is the attitude you come from.
No, that's not attitude. Not
You're-
attitude.
you're-
Because I'm
you're-
black and I'm saying.
No,
that.
no, you've
So
got-
when I say that you're
you've got-
racist, when I say that you're
you've
racist, you're
tried to
treating me
prevent-
wrong because you're white.
You're using-
You're going to say that I called you a
You're
dhimmi.
using
You see how you
black
use that?
identity
That's called
politics
prejudice. That's
to
called
push
prejudice.
Islam.
No,
That's what you're doing.
No, what are you trying to do?
That's what you're doing.
You're prejudiced.
You're using black
You're prejudiced.
identity politics to push Islam.
Not black.
That's what you're trying to do because you're
See,
trying to.
I'm black now. You're trying to use black politics.
No,
Black
you're
politics.
trying to use
What are
black
you talking
politics,
about?
and I'm
What are
calling you
talking
out for doing
about?
so.
What am I talking about?
So shall we go back to the topic?
No, because you went somewhere. Let's
Shall
go
we go
there.
back to
Let's
the
go there. Let's go there. You want to go there?
No. I want to stick.
You
to
don't
the
want to go
topic.
there, do you?
No, I want to stick
You
to
don't
the
want. You know why
topic.
you don't want to go there? Because you know in the end you're going to look bad.
Okay, if you believe that if you want to, now
you're
let's
gonna
go back
look
to
bad.
the
You're
topic.
gonna look
Fine,
bad.
I'll look back. So now let's talk.
No.
So the topic
No.
is
No.
the India.
No.
This Islamic doctrine.
I've said to you already, and you've accepted it. So there's no much more that we need to speak about.
No, you didn't hear what I
No.
had to say because you were too busy interrupting.
Because I'm trying to speak, and you're letting me speak.
No. You have interrupted me at
Have you
leisure.
let me speak?
Have you let me speak without
Of course
interruption?
I've let you speak.
Without interruption.
I know I'm wasting my time.
Without interruption.
I know.
Without interruption. So do you want to do 2 minutes, 2 minutes? I mean, can you actually stop talking when I'm doing my 2 minutes without interrupting me? Because I've done it twice for you now and you've not done it once for me. So in terms of moral superiority and best example, I'm doing better than you.
Wish.
Right.
You've dissed me. You've done like 5, 6, 7 names, bro.
And you didn't call me low man and you're slapping me and calling him a dirty cameraman.
Little what?
Dirty cameraman. You
What
call
is
a
it?
Latino
Low
a
man or
dirty
something. I can't remember.
cameraman.
I don't-
You're a racist, bro.
I don't wanna
You're a
be a dirty
Latino.
cameraman.
You call a Latino a dirty cameraman, bro. You're a racist, bro. That's what your dean done for you.
Bro.
Your dean has failed you.
A bad example
I don't
of
wanna be on your camera.
Salafism
I don't wanna be on your camera.
meeting
You're
grudge
calling a Latino a dirty cameraman.
So basically,
Racist.
basically, yeah, this is what you're trying to say. You're saying that the words were used by the king. Yeah. Hey, bro, why are you taking pictures, man?
He's allowed to take pictures.
No, I just don't want pictures of me, bro.
You're allowed to take
Yeah, I just don't want pictures of me.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I'm just saying. You have every right to take pictures in this pocket. It's a public space, and everyone who comes here, that's fine.
That's my
I'm
respect.
just saying
That's
that
my honor.
you have
I can
the
say that.
right.
Yeah.
You have the right.
You hear that? He said respect.
Yeah.
Because you're white, you have supremacy, so you think you can do anything like. Yeah. Dirty, bro.
Let's talk about racism in Islam.
Racism and Christianity, fam. You really want to go there?
And that
You want to
one
go
too, and that one too, and that one
Christianity?
too.
Racism and Christianity.
want to know.
I use enslaving the black man in Africa and America. What I'm saying is, Islam is the only religion that said free slaves. In Christianity, never said slaves.
That's why Muhammad had slaves. That's why Muhammad trained them slaves.
Show me in the Bible it says free slaves.
I'll show you.
Show me in the Bible it says free slaves.
Show him.
I'll show you something.
Show me. Not in the, show me in the Bible it says free slaves. Go on.
Right, let's
That's a good question.
we'll
That's a
come
good
to
question.
that. But
Oh, so you're going to the Quran now?
No, I just wanna-
Wait, go to your Bible.
I will.
You pulled
I
out
will.
your Bible, now you pull out
I
the
will.
Quran. You know
I will.
why? You got more of a relationship.
No,
You got
no,
more
no.
relationship with this than you have with your
Yeah,
own Bible.
any excuse, mate. Any excuse.
Yeah?
Right.
You got more relationship with this
So
than your Bible.
let's
So
just
back to what I was saying. I'm going to finish this and I'm done, yeah? I'm
Black
gonna finish this.
slaves.
No, I'm going to
Black
finish this and I'm
slaves.
done. I'm finishing this and I'm done.
You should go and look at these references. Sahih al-Bukhari, 7263. Sahih al-Bukhari, 6161. Sunnah ibn Sa'id, 3858.
Who are not ready to be with
Yeah.
him. He's laughing. I'm
In
here
that
to
one,
defend
he
the bomb.
named a
Look
black
at him.
slave a ship.
He's running
He
away.
talked about derogatory terms. Your prophet spoke derogatory about a black slave. I rest my case.
That's right. That's right.
Like, you just
Then
put
it's
that-
a lie by Muslim
Cameraman
sources.
here.
Wait,
Where's the
where's
man?
this?
No, no,
This is high
This is
stakes.
the
That's not
reference.
that.
This man is
Sunnah. Show his
Yeah,
reference.
I'll give
Show
the
his
reference.
reference. Show his reference.
Sunan ibn Sa'id,
Show his reference.
3858.
Show your reference.
Yeah, black slaves. Black slaves. Sahih al-Bukhari, 7263 and
He has
6166.
stolen away from me. You
Yeah.
have to pay £500. What a whim. Look at
in
this man
Ibn
here.
Ishaq,
He's
in Ibn
slaves
Ishaq,
now.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
you like this one? You like this one? In Ibn Ishaq, he compares the devil, Satan, to a black dog.
A slave in the city.
And
show me.
show me. I've got that. Show me the hadith.
Look at
I'm just giving you the reference.
Give me the reference. I've got every hadith collection on my phone.
Okay, black slave. Sahih al-Bukhari 7263.
Kissing the girlfriend. Look.
Let's find it.
Let's
yeah?
And the Bible, he said, I've got a wife, and she said, I've got
People
you,
can
you've
stand
got a
up.
girlfriend. Look at his face. Look at him.
Go on. Sahih Bukhari, what?
7263.
7263, yeah?
You should be dead, my brother. You shouldn't be alive.
So
7263.
Muhammad is the one who had adultery. Yeah.
God wants you to be a
Muhammad is the one who had
fight for
adultery.
the pastor to be with him. What a win.
The Bible says, "Thou shalt not have adultery."
Look at him. Look at him now.
He said Sahih Bukhari. What did he say?
7263.
So Sahih Bukhari 7263. This is Sahih Bukhari.
Okay, let's read it.
Don't ever believe a Christian when he starts to claim
Oh.
He's a liar. Look,
So this is it.
look, this is the hadith. This is the hadith.
Don't say Christian. Don't believe one of the preachers here.
God is getting exposed now.
What does he read?
So
If I've given the wrong reference, I'll find the right.
stop.
Okay,
And look at this. He brought out a reference in
Yes, I
Sahih
did.
Bukhari.
Oh.
He said in chapter 72, 63. This is the hadith. It says, Allah's messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered the house of Ma'muma. A roasted mastur was served. Allah's messenger stretched his hand out to eat it, but some women informed Allah's messenger of what he was about to eat. So they said it is a masturub. Allah's messenger, he drew his hand with porn and he said, oh Allah's messenger, is it lawful? He said, no, this is not found in the land of my people, so I dislike it. So I
that's
pulled
the
my
cherry pick.
so I pulled my mastur towards
the
me
cherry
and
pick
ate it
hadith
while Allah's
you are-
messenger was looking
you are
at me.
reading.
Where does it say black slave?
Okay, that's fine.
Where does it say black lamb?
That's the
He's googling now. Look.
cherry pick hadith.
Googling now.
Muhammad's
You
black.
remember, look, he's googling now. Guys, he's got it wrong here. You see the liar? You see the lies here?
I'm happy to
liar. That's what we know.
You made up your own
That's a lie.
You're just trying to.
He didn't say any black slaves therefore. Bring that back. Look at his face.
Bro, shall I tell you?
Look, no, bring that down. How embarrassing.
Listen, guys, listen.
They come here. Out of context.
You know what? He's forgotten. He's forgotten that he had mentioned Allah.
He's going to get exposed. There you go.
Wrong reference.
Wrong reference.
I will come with the right one. I will come round. Bro. On a reference. On a reference. Oh my days. On a reference.
You ran out of context. The hadith.
No.
You don't know what to look.
One
He said the wrong reference.
1 second.
Wrong reference.
You have already said on camera that Allah had black
What
slaves.
did he conclude?
Yes, it's on camera. You said so what? You said so what?
Look at his face.
So you're saying Muhammad never had black slaves?
When Muhammad said,
Bring someone else.
Did Muhammad have black slaves?
I'm a slave of Allah. Yeah?
Muhammad black slaves.
Look at the face. Look at the face. It's red.
Muhammad black slaves.
Brother, you can do all of this as much as you like, but you
bro.
You know I hadith said that before. I said something about black man and this and that. But now when I went to report it wasn't there. Now you put the book back in your bag because you're scared.
I showed it to the camera.
Bring me all them hadiths that you brought. Bring
brought
all them
it.
hadiths. I got a hadith collection right now.
His face is red. Look. You're embarrassed. You
even
can't.
hadith says,
You are fake charlatans. Look. Where? Show me. Where? He doesn't know. Bob got it wrong.
I got a reference from.
Got it wrong. He's been caught lying again. He's been caught lying
Are you saying
again.
Muhammad never had black slaves?
He's been caught lying.
No, you
Is that what
didn't
you're
say that. You
saying?
never said that.
Are you saying Muhammad never?
Look at him.
I'm asking you.
No,
Did Muhammad have black slaves?
No, but you never said that. What was your thing? Bring the book back.
Did
Bring your
Muhammad
book back.
have black slaves?
No, you never said that.
Did Muhammad
No,
have
you
black
said
slaves?
that the Prophet said mentioned a black person is a devil. That's what you said.
Yes.
Bring someone
Just show me
else.
that
That was
hadith.
in Ibn if you have them.
DCCI. Bring someone else.
Show me
Bring
that
someone
hadith.
else.
We go through
Bring
them.
someone
If
else.
the references are wrong, I will go away and find find the right
Bobby,
references.
finish.
For your black brother.
That's what we've been telling you.
Black
He can't debate. He can't
Because
even quote.
they
He
think-
can't
they
even
think-
quote.
they
the
think-
Bible.
Find it.
He can't
they
quote
think-
the Bible.
They think that they've won something because I got a reference wrong. All that's going to happen is I'm going to go and find all the right references and bring them back.
You know what deep is? You know what's deep is? We're talking about racism and you said that statement. You know how bad you look right now.
Well, it shows that I've got a reference wrong.
But wait, what does it say?
So 61, let's check that one. So if I've got that right reference wrong, I want to
Tell
check
me
the others now.
Tell me what's the big deal. What's the big deal?
61,
Yeah,
yeah?
I want to see
No,
what
you
it
go to
says.
Africa. No, Africa. How many millions of people died? Transatlantic trade. How many millions? Do you know?
Hey, Lamin.
Do you know how many Muslims?
Lamin.
I'm asking you. Who?
Look, again you got it wrong.
Yes.
No, look, again you got it wrong. Look, Allah is the greatest. As I said, Allahu Akbar. Check your references, my brothers. Check
So,
your
no, let's
No.
Let's check them all.
Look,
This
look.
is fine. This is cherry-picked hadith. He is reading.
No,
Cherry-picked hadith. You are reading.
We found it.
The hadith.
No. Bob gave me the hadith.
For the moment, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He has it in front of him. I just have a
Look,
For the moment.
You are bringing the wrong hadith. You are bringing the wrong hadith.
Listen to your
Bro,
master.
I want to check the others. No, I'm not writing the truth.
Show me, he can show
not
me.
frightened.
He got it wrong.
My friend.
He got it wrong.
Have you been lying on the
He's not lying.
He got
Stop
it
lying.
wrong.
You got all these references.
Not
all
lying.
wrong.
So that's
Well, I'm going to see now, aren't I?
You're all wrong. Give me another one. Give me another one. Give me another one.
I want to check the others.
Go on,
I
give
wanna
me
check
another
the
one.
others.
This is lies. This is the hadith. It says
No, it's
Al-Bara was
it's
asked,
a
was the
cherry-picked
face?
hadith.
Listen, man.
Cherry-picked hadith.
Al-Bara was asked, was the face of the Prophet as bright as a sword? He said
71.
no. He was as bright as a moon. So how's that got to do with
Is the
racism?
moon white? Just out of interest.
No, but what's that got to do with racism?
Well, you said that Muhammad wasn't white, but
No,
that sounds
what's
like
that
a
got to do-
reference that he was
what's
white.
that got to
Anyway,
do?
I want to check this one as well now. 71:42.
In Bukhari, yeah?
Yeah, in Bukhari.
You know you're messing up because if you know Bukhari, these are like sacrifice of occasions.
Okay, well, if they're wrong, then I need to go and check my references.
What is it? 71?
If I've got my references
What
wrong,
is
I
it?
need
71:42.
71:42. If they're wrong, I just need to check my references.
No, that means that you've been. Look, it's no 42 and 71, bro.
Then I'll go check that one as well. 31:38.
There's no 71 on 41. The hadith that he brought again. Another lie. Another lie.
31.
It's getting really bad, you know, brother.
31:38. Let's check that one.
That's the
Let's check that one. 31:38.
That's the
31:38. Again,
You've got this idea that I'm fighting the truth. I'm not.
Look at him.
Your hadith
I'm not
is
fighting the truth,
there's no
mate.
38 and 31. There's no 38 and 31. There's no 38 and 31. It's Sahih Bukhari. Brother, you just told about 5 lies.
You
So
are-
how do you want to come to me?
You are really a
5 lies.
cherry-picked
Have a nice day.
5 lies. That's
Have a nice day.
it. Today,
Get that chip
Bob
off your
got it
shoulder.
up. Today we know that he's a fake preacher. Islam has got you got it all wrong today.
You got my 500. You got my 500 pounds.
No, 500 pounds. See, he got it wrong today. This is what he
wrap
said. This man comes here, just attack. Look at him. You got it wrong today. I think that you
So it would seem at first appearance that the references that I've used with regards to black slaves, 72 Sahih al-Bukhari 72:63, 61:61, and Sahih al-Bukhari 71:42 and 31:38 may be the wrong references. Now I will go away and I'll find the right references. We've checked them all. We've just done them.
No.
There's one more. There's one more. If you have Ibn Ishaq, do you have
Yeah.
Ibn Ishaq?
I got him in Ishaq.
But let me just finish this wrap up. Let me just finish this wrap up, and then we'll check the
quick
rest.
note that when we get the right references,
We'll be back.
yeah, we'll be back.
I'm going to get the right references.
But
We'll be
you've
back.
already lied though.
All right,
You've been using this.
All right, no, I made a mistake.
You have
No, I made a mistake.
References.
So it would seem
What we gonna do for you?
it would seem that I've given the wrong references. Those hadiths are there. I will find those references and I will do a video showing the references with the quotes. If I've got the references wrong, the fault is on me. I'll do the research, I'll come back and I'll check them again. However, what is not in dispute is that Muhammad did have black slaves. He did trade in black slaves. That he did compare a black man to Satan. That he did call black people raisin heads. Yeah, and we will find those references and we will give them out. It is not the case that just because I've got the wrong references that those hadiths don't exist. And here's the thing, for all of you who are watching this video celebrating, go and do your research. Help us find the references and help us put them in the comment section underneath. Somehow, clearly, I have made a mistake in my research. However, collectively, I'm sure that we can find those references Please give your sources as well, so that we can get those sources, and so we can come back here and show that whilst the brother avoided the debate on the Injil and has got a massive chip on his shoulder about race, at the end of the day, he's still wrong. He's still wrong. I will find those references. I will be back. I'll give it to him. I got the references wrong. Doesn't mean that the premise of the argument is wrong. Just means that I made a mistake in what I've recorded as the references to that argument. That's a fault on me. Point to him. But the point of the matter is, if Muhammad had black slaves, he denied it. He said, show me the evidence. The evidence is there to be seen. If Muhammad traded in black slaves, if he called black people raisin heads, if he called a black man a ship, this demonstrates that a man who is described in the hadiths as white is would appear to be a white supremacist according to the black brother over there. So, I've got some research to do, help us out, and we'll be back and we'll talk about this within the week. So guys, literally guys, within 2 minutes of me putting out an appeal for people to find the hadiths, this brother literally just found one, and it's coming from the website.
We'll put it on the screen.
Okay.
Just read the reference.
Yeah, sunnah.com/Bukhari 936. Yeah, so that's an Islamic website, not a Christian one. And this is what it says. Chapter 4, narrated Anas bin Malik, Allah's messenger said, you should listen to and obey your ruler even if he was an Ethiopian slave whose head looks like a raisin. Yeah? That's what, literally, within 10 seconds. Within 10 seconds. Have you got other references?
Yeah, because I think,
Yeah. If you find any more, come back to us.
we'll put some.
Within 10 seconds.
There are more than that. There are other references.
It's fine. I'm not frightened of being corrected.
The point around it is, it was actually his companions around him, his elders, that instructed him to have. But he also referred to them as, because that's what he was led to believe was the right thing to do.
Right. This is from Answering Islam. Book 10, number 3901. So in answeringislam.org, Sahih Muslim, Book 10, number 3901, narrated by Jabir ibn Abdullah. There came a slave and pledged allegiance to Allah's apostle on migration. He, the Prophet, did not know that he was a slave. Then there came his master and demanded him back, whereupon Allah's apostle, peace be upon him, said, sell him to me. And he bought him for 2 black slaves. And he did not afterwards take allegiance from anyone until he had asked him whether he was a slave or a free man. So, I've got the references wrong in my notes, but they are clearly there.
Thank you.
Have you got any others? Thank you very much. Just came to my rescue like a knight in shining armour. So, can you send me those references?
Sure. Actually, I'm not.
You'll
You'll have to look back at it, because I think he might have got the number wrong when it might actually be right in there, but then he was wrong when he.
No, I watched him. It seemed that he was going to the right.
Okay.
The right chapter.
Oh, right. Okay.
It seemed to me he was going to the right chapter. But I am wondering about. It does make me now wonder about how you reference hadiths and whether there's different systems of referencing.
Yeah.
Which I'm not aware of. Because I have noticed in the references that I've quoted, they're different in structure. So maybe there's something about references that I need to go and look at. But the evidence is there. And we'll do more on it. In fact, we'll do an entire video on it. Anyway, how are we doing? Thank you very much. No, you're not. All right, maybe mistake you someone else. I just want to do a quick wrap up on the Injil argument, because the brother didn't want to deal with the topic. The fact of the matter is that the Quran mentions a document called an Injil. And Muslims, on the one hand, are trying to say that Injil is our New Testament, and on the other hand, it isn't. Now, it is or it isn't. The fact of the matter is that there is no evidence outside of the Quran of a thing called an Injil. No one quotes it, no one references it, no one testifies that it exists. But from the 1st century, from before the 1st century, starting with Clement, right up to John Chrysostom and beyond, there are countless church fathers who are quoting the Christian New Testament, which means that the Christian New Testament is testified to in history as a real thing, as existing. The Injil, by comparison, that is mentioned in the Quran, has absolutely no supportive evidence that it ever existed. Now, Muslims try to argue that the New Testament is corrupted based on the idea of this mythological document called an Injil existing. But if there is no evidence that this mythological document called the Injil ever existed, you can't make an argument for corruption. Because if you can't prove the original document existed to be corrupt, you can't prove corruption at all. The New Testament is testified to by thousands of documents in Greek, in Latin, in Syriac, in Coptic, in Gothic, in Slavonic, and in multiple other languages. Yes, there are textual variants, but what that evidence demonstrates is that the New Testament as we have it today is a stable text that has not been corrupted in any way that should concern a Christian. If anything, the evidence demonstrates that over 2,000 years we've gained a little bit of extra text that shouldn't be there, not that we've lost anything. The Islamic worldview insists that we lost something, but they can't prove the original as having ever existed for us to lose. And that was the argument that I was trying to make to the brother who's got a massive chip on his shoulder.